creating an environment, communicating your values so well, creating an ambiance within your brand with what you do, like where people they just want to be around you, right? They just want to get whatever it is that you have. How to know if you're a good coach. I get a ton of questions and comments from people, particularly my YouTube followers, who are wondering, do they need a coaching certification to be a good coach? Should they focus on their coaching certification first before they build their brand or start their business? You don't need a coaching certification to be a good coach. I don't have a coaching certification. It's not that I don't believe in higher education or getting certifications. In fact, I might get my certification one day. I don't know. I might create my own certification one day. Who knows? So definitely no shade thrown. However, I do find that the coaching certification can be like a stalling tactic. Is that kind of like, I'm getting ready to get ready. And I don't think people who are new to coaching realize how important it is that you have actual experience, not necessarily in coaching, but in some sort of skill. If you get a coaching certification, it will give you a framework to follow for the technique of coaching, but you don't get your certification and become a coach. And I just really wanted to talk about that because I feel like that goes over like a lot of new people's heads. You become the coach first from your life experience, developing a skill or whatever it is that you have. And then if you feel like you want to follow a particular methodology or a framework in order to help you coach your clients better, that technique, then that's what the coaching certification is for. Real life experience gives you two things that are critical in any type of business: having an accomplishment and then having an angle. Having real life experience gives you an accomplishment that other people, are interested in or other people want to replicate or achieve. And it doesn't even have to be like a huge accomplishment, or oftentimes we compare ourselves to people we see on TV, other like really big influencers that we see online. If you have an accomplishment that people ask you about all the time, they want to know how you did that, how you decorated your own house so nicely without an interior, designer, how you found the man of your dreams, like whatever. If you've achieved something in your life and people continuously ask you about it and you're a few steps ahead of them, then that gives you some accomplishment. It gives you really authority to speak on whatever it is that you are speaking on. What's overlooked and what's really important with any type of online business, coaching or not, is that it gives you an angle or a perspective that you're coming from. So oftentimes through the course of you doing whatever it is that you did, you start to develop a point of view, a perspective that is different from all the other information that's out there. And that's so key. And that's what people miss, especially when they think that, I'm just going to get a coaching certification and it's going to solve all my problems. That's not going to give you an angle. That's not going to give you a unique perspective. That's not going to give you a unique point of view. How to know if you're a good coach is 1, if you've mastered your craft; 2, if you've mastered yourself; and 3, if you've mastered your environment. So mastering your craft is about what I was just talking about in terms of, do you have a accomplishment that you can look back on? Do you have an angle that you are coming at the marketplace with based on the things that you've done? When you're looking to become a good coach, or you want to know if you're a good coach, ask yourself, do you actively focus on mastering your craft, not just the craft or the technique of coaching, because that's all a coaching certification is really going to do for you. It's going to give you different frameworks for how to coach people, but it's not going to make you an expert in any particular subject matter. You have to come with that, before you jump into the coaching certification. And so that's why I was saying, I think it's better if you wait until you jump into coaching and then, start working with clients, because then you will see, I'm noticing that clients seem to be getting better results if I do something this way. So that gives you information that you can use and say, okay, I think I want to double down on this. I'm going to go find a coaching certification that's going to teach me a strategy that falls in line with what I'm already seeing is working for my clients, versus having no clients, having no experience, just waking up one day and saying, I want to be a coach, and then blowing all your money on a coaching certification, looking for that validation when that's not really what it's designed for, and that's not really what it's going to give you. The second point about, if you're a good coach, if you've not only mastered your craft, but you've mastered yourself. This one is huge. You know you're a good entrepreneur. Like, you know you're a good human being when you've mastered yourself. And so by mastering yourself, I mean when you've been able to master your emotions, when you've been able to master your mindset. This is so big. And I talked about this in, a whole nother video where I was explaining why mindset is so important. Oftentimes we are asking people for like strategies and tactics. Like we think, man, I'm just one marketing technique away. Like if somebody could just teach me how to blow up my Instagram account, then I would just be a millionaire. Quite frankly, even if somebody gave you the strategies that you're looking for, if you don't have the right mindset to one, receive them, and then two, to know what to do with them effectively, it's not going to work out for you. Like your mindset is way more important than any strategy or tactic that you could do, because your mindset really determines what moves you make. And the moves you make in your business can be either destructive or productive for your business, but it really depends on how you think and what's going on in your mindset. Beyond just having your mindset correct, it really helps you approach your clients better, right? So you can't give what you don't have. And one of the key differences between coaching and just kind of like, a service provider, like you just do the work for people, is that you are guiding people to the result that they ultimately want. There's all types of junk, that we deal with internally in our mindset. And it's really important that you master that yourself, because then you can recognize it. And that's not really something that you can like pick up in a book. I mean, there are books that you could read that can help you with that. But I know for me, being coached on those issues myself and coming through them is what really allows me to coach others. And so, I've dealt with my own stuff. Like, I mean, the biggest one I find, especially for women entrepreneurs, is who is going to pay that? Nobody's going to pay that, which is a lie. This is never going to work. Then you're not going to receive it. And so if you yourself have those mindsets, maybe you have a certain limiting belief, you're going to transfer that on your clients. So I find that the best way to overcome those personally is through coaching. And yes, like I know I'm biased, but that's why I'm in this industry, because I believe in coaching that much, right? I'm a coach because I believe in it. And I've seen what an amazing thing it's done for my own life, which leads me to the third thing that you should master. If you want to be a good coach, or if you have mastery of this thing, you're a good coach. And that is mastery of your environment, your ability to create an ambiance around you that draws people in. I feel like no one talks about this, which again was why I'm here talking about this. But you'll find even people who have a decent level of success, maybe they're a good coach, they're really good with their craft, and they're really good with their mindset. But I find that this level is like next level type thing that people don't even know is a thing. Or if they are aware of it, I find that a lot of coaches resent it, especially when it comes to sales. So when I talk about creating an ambience around you that draws people in, one, this is very important from a sales standpoint, because this is the difference between what's traditionally known as sleazy sales, right? And sleazy sales is manipulative, it's pushy, it's forcing, it's lying or stretching the truth or exaggerating. It's like doing everything in your power to try to get somebody to push, to force, to get them to sign up with you or to get them to spend money with you, versus what I think is like true sales, right? Or, a better type of sales is just simply creating an environment, communicating your value so well, creating an ambiance within your brand with what you do, like where people they just want to be around you, right? They just want to get whatever it is that you have, where they're like, whatever it is that you're doing, like I'm down, I'm game. I've received so much value from you, or I notice that I'm different when I'm in your presence, whether it's your real presence or your virtual presence. Like I've already received so much transformation just being in your orbit that I'm ready to go to the next step. And I'm begging you, I'm asking you, like, what do you have that can take me there? Because what you've already put out is just phenomenal, right? So that's what you want to get good at mastering. And I find that a lot of coaches resent this because they feel like this is just a strictly sales and marketing thing, and that it has nothing to do with coaching. Like coaching purists, right? Like, oh no, it has nothing to do with the technique. It has nothing to do with getting the client the result. They just need to understand that what I'm offering is super valuable and they just need to sign on. And it's completely a false idea, because one thing that I always tell my clients is your sales and marketing is actually pre-coaching. So I'll say that again. Your sales and marketing is actually pre-coaching. So you want to have mastery of your environment, or, the ability to create the environment necessary to get people to want to say yes to you. That's not just a sales and marketing thing. That's a coaching thing, because that is a type of pre-coaching, right? But guess what? The sales don't stop after they've paid you and they've become a client. You still have to sell them on your process, on your methodology. If you're a good coach, you're probably going to be stretching your clients. You're probably going to be asking them to do things that is outside of their comfort zone. If you can't do that from the outset before they become a client, you're going to find that it's extremely difficult to do it once they're actually a client. This is where it's like pulling teeth. You hear about coaches that are like, man, I feel like I have all this great knowledge. I keep trying to share this with my clients, but they're not doing what I'm saying, right? Creating an ambiance, creating an environment where the people who get it can receive what I'm saying. And they're like, okay, I want to be in your orbit. I want to do, what you're doing. I want to go where you're going. But I don't believe in forcing people or pushing or doing any of that, because how you got them is how you keep them. This ability to master your external environment and create an ambiance that draws people to you versus you having to be like the enforcer and the pusher, that traditionally is a feminine art. Yeah, isn't that pretty interesting? So I think about people like Princess Diana was very good at this. Marilyn Monroe was very good at this. Josephine Baker, like they had an ability to really command their own presence and kind of cultivate and master how they showed up in the world, that other people responded to them in such a way that they were able to, achieve their aims and achieve their goals. Fun fact, my favorite X-Men is Storm for this reason, right? So, Halle Berry plays Storm in the X-Men series, but I like that because all the other superheroes, their power is like external, but I love that Storm, her power was she would just go within and then the whole environment would like change. She could just command the environment to, lightning bolt strike over there or storm. Like, you're a good coach, if you've mastered the 3 levels, if you've hit that 3rd level where you too can be Storm in an X-Men and you can command your environment around you. So I hope this was helpful and eye-opening for you. Make sure that you are following me on my podcast, The Courtney Sanders Show, that is both on Spotify and iTunes. And of course, follow me on Instagram. With that, I'll see you all next time.